What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. Today, we're going to be diving into a few different things, some educational stuff, if you will. We're going to go over a pretty big app launch that somebody I actually know and have had on the channel a couple times over the years. Finally got this thing kicked off, and it actually looks pretty cool. It's also a paid segment, believe it or not. I didn't expect them to do that, but it came through, and so we're going to cover it. And it's actually kind of a neat project. I think you might get a kick out of. There are some interesting ways to get some free tokens and things, so stick around for that. And we're going to go over what we think may be happening with Bitcoin, as well as Kulo token, because I've just been watching it as like one of the first meme coins that I've gotten into, and just watching its price action and how it's just blown my mind. And then we're going to go over bot trading with Bollinger Band strategies, and we're going to explain how trading bots can be very, very effective depending on how you use them, how I use it, and basically how to utilize a Bollinger Band strategy for bot trading, and exactly how to set it up and how it works. So let's go ahead and dive into it a bit, and we're going to cover some pretty cool stuff. So hopefully you enjoy the video today. So first thing we're going to do is we're looking at Kulo, which it's been such a ride. Okay, I mean, to say the least, it's been such a ride. My Kulo wallet has gone from like $2,000 in value all the way up to like $120,000 at the peak here. And then obviously the entire market had turned around, and we started watching it just dive. We saw this significant drop here as once the price started to fall a little bit, you could tell that there were some weak hands that ultimately exited with a vengeance. And it recovered rather quickly. I watched this all happen in real time, and I watched the Telegram group as people were reacting to it, and it recovered, but it was still in a descent because ultimately the entire market has been coming down. This is basically a 1 hour candle here. And then, you can just see the ebbs and flows, but ultimately just a downward trend, right? Well, we got that bottom of this, and my wallet went from like 120,000 all the way down to, I think at one point it was like 30 grand. It might have even been less, and I just didn't notice. But you can see if this were a downtrend, we broke out of it. And now we're kind of going sideways a bit. And I think the market is just trying to figure out what's happening next. But ultimately, Kulo's been going up this morning and doing very well. And I'm really surprised to see this actually looks pretty daggone good, because hey, I'm bullish on this in the sense that it's a meme token that didn't just plummet to the bottom. There wasn't anything that just sent this to the floor and, everybody walked away. No, the community has been very bullish on this. I know the devs, the team, Moon Daddy is always in the group, talking and answering questions and things. And, honestly, for a meme token, the community is pretty daggone strong. I'm sticking with it. Let's go 1 billion. Let's hope. Now, looking at Bitcoin's price, we can see here on TradingView, I love checking out other people's kind of perceptions as to what's happening in the market. And some people I like better than others, but this I found very interesting because I've been saying something to this effect for a while. This is showing the 2016, 2020, and 2024 line charts and price action, basically from I'm assuming the bottom all the way up, right? So basically the same point in time, where are we? And then what was the price action across all these different bull markets? And what it's showing is that the 2016 market into 2017, which is the one I've been saying I feel like we're emulating the most in this current cycle. You could see how the price action just kind of went boom. It just went parabolic. It went on a crazy run. And, that same run today would take us to over $1 million. That's not happening. But you can see in 2020, we had basically the double peak market. And ultimately, it looked like that single peak, had it been consolidated into one like 2017, we should have been significantly higher in price. A lot of us were expecting to see $100,000 Bitcoin in that 2021 cycle, but we didn't get that. We peaked much lower, obviously, at around, I think it was 64.9, something to that effect. We dropped down 50% and then established a second peak that went a little higher than the first. And there we were. And then we got, our major drop. Well, here in 2024, which is the white line here, you can see that it's far more bullish and far more powerful a rally this time around than any market cycle before. Obviously, because of these spot Bitcoin ETFs that launched and are just buying up all of the Bitcoin available. I saw one report saying that they're buying 12 times the amount of Bitcoin daily than is being mined. How do you think the halving is going to affect this price action as it relates to Bitcoin post halving? It's going to get absolutely insane. I think that this market is going to be, and I've said this a million times before, even before these spot ETFs came into play, but I think that this bull market is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen to date. And technically it already is. It's getting very, very interesting. And you can see here, Bitcoin's massive bull run incoming. We're currently trading at around 63.3. A lot of people that I've been reading through have basically said, we've got really strong support around 59,000. And I think in a common market, in a typical market without these major institutions gobbling up everything they can, it's ultimately slowing the effects of these, what should be and could have been and could still be technically significant corrections in Bitcoin's price, which is ultimately fairly healthy, but they're just buying up everything. And so this is why I keep saying, this market is going to be absolutely nuts. And I know that a lot of people are going to be looking to dump everything at a certain point, right? There are going to be a lot of people out there trying to trade the exits when they think the market is peaked. And my goal ultimately is I'm going to do what I do with my altcoins. But as it relates to Bitcoin, I don't really care what happens to its price. I just don't think I'm selling because I don't see Bitcoin crashing in this market after the peak the way we've seen it crash before. I think this is going to be a prime opportunity for the retail market and the dumb money to basically become, their exit is going to be the entry of everyone that doesn't have Bitcoin yet. And how the FOMO is going to take effect as we continue rising and we start really running in a parabolic upward momentum, how that's going to affect people and these institutions, it's going to be really interesting. I just don't see myself getting rid of my Bitcoin anymore. I think I'm going to be saving this until I retire someday from whatever it is I'm doing at the time. So we'll have to see. Now, we're going to go over this Raiinmaker. How many of you guys remember JD Serafine coming on my channel a couple of times? Somebody that I met all the way back in NASCAR. And, he's done a lot of different things. He's been working on a movie. I haven't heard anything about this movie in so long now, but it was basically going to be the movie about the founder of Atari, which I was actually really excited about. I thought that would have been amazing, but I haven't heard anything else about it. But while he was working on this movie, he was building and working on Raiinmaker app. And it's the coin network protocol powered by AI and secured by Bitcoin. Become a validator and earn coin. Now, we're going to dive into this a little bit. This is going to be a super long segment, but I am probably going to cover this in more detail later. AI distributed, consensus federated, DPIN mobilized, accelerating the next generation of Web3 utilizing decentralized AI and a human-powered network. Founder experience, Boeing, Disney, Oracle, Coinbase, Overstock, all kinds of people, I guess, are involved in this. And there are ways for you to ultimately get set up with this and start earning tokens. And it's going to be very interesting. The Coin Network Protocol utilizes decentralized AI and scalable Web3 powered infrastructure to transform the distribution of value tied to authentic identity, data, and behavior. So I find this very interesting. The Raiinmaker app, no blockchain IQ required. Basically, anyone can use the app like any app you would typically use, although this is a blockchain focused application. So, you're going to be able to do a lot of things with it without having to understand the ins and outs of how blockchain works. However, and it seems like even running a node is going to be a pretty simple process. So earn coin utilizing a combination of identity, behavior, and AI-powered smart contracts. Fractional coin rewards are distributed across the ecosystem. Validate, train AI, stake, and burn. So validate users function as an independent validator via mobile or desktop device with no blockchain IQ needed. You don't have to, it's not like setting up like a Cardano node or something where you really have to have some technical prowess to understand it. Train AI, operate a DPIN mobile node on the Raiinmaker app, train AI models, and earn coin. This could get really interesting, folks. I'm actually interested in trying this out. I have not yet, but I do plan on it. So I'll update you guys later on when I do. Stake coin or other tokens, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., and earn increased rewards on the network. Multiply your validator earning power every time you burn coin tokens. It's crazy. Create your coin.io account right here. You can get started, and that's ultimately what you're going to see. You're going to have a dashboard. It's going to show your balances and all of the different functionality related to the app. And I encourage everyone to check this out because ultimately you're going to have an airdrop. An airdrop. They're calling it the raindrop. I like that. That's clever. Testnet validator airdrop. And then you have instructions here on how easy it is to get set up. Quest 1, follow Raiinmaker on Discord and Twitter so you can stay up to date with what's going on. Quest 2, sign up on coin.ai. Go to coin.ai and create an account. You can visit it now. There's obviously a link in the description below, folks, for those of you that are wanting to click along here. Quest 3, download the Raiinmaker app. Utilize Raiinmaker's mobile DPIN functionality and validate on the go. Quest 4, claim your wallet, and you can just basically connect that. Quest 5, register as a validator. Register a proxy or independent node on coin.ai or on the Raiinmaker app. And Quest 6, link your Raiinmaker account to coin.ai. And it's all very simple. There's some simple steps involved, and you can even earn more with some bonus quests. But then you're going to be applicable for airdrops and things on the network. The app, there's an About Us. This is what I found interesting. And I didn't quite understand that this was happening or this was a thing. I think it's down here below. Yes. So here's JD, and then Benjamin Gary is also a founder. And look who it is. Joe Rowitz, co-founder and CTO. What, ladies and gentlemen, was this gentleman responsible for back in the day, back in the 2017, 2018 market? Dragon Chain. And if you remember, Dragon Chain was, at one point, I was extremely bullish on it. Everybody in the market was all about it. And then the SEC basically just used them as, in my opinion, it looks like they used this group as kind of a scapegoat, so to speak. They went after these guys, costing them millions of dollars, as I understand it, and just legal defense, where they were just defending everything that they were doing. And they were all by the book, but the SEC decided to go after him anyway. And so I'm glad to see Joe's a part of this. He was a very good guy. I've met him in person. I've talked to him, and Dragon Chain, as I understand it, is still going, but it just lost a lot of steam because of they were spending all of their money on legal defense. And we know how that and they were one of the first. They were one of the first groups that was really, the SEC really went after them. And I just don't even think anything really came of it other than just Dragon Chain really suffered because of it. And that was it. So, and then Michael Turpin, interesting. He was actually somebody, I can't remember if I talked to him or we swapped emails or whatever, because he was the guy who, he was hacked with a SIM port, and on AT&T, and I went through the same thing, and I recorded the entire call where they tried covering it up and everything, and I sent everything over to him. Pretty sure he won his case because I think he was suing for like $200-something million, but he's never said anything to me since. So I assume that all went well. And then obviously you've got a whole bunch of documentation on things related to the app. So I would encourage you, do a deep dive, do your research, and see what you guys think. I'd love to hear your comments. Like, after you've checked this all out, let me know what you think of this. this. Is this something you want me to do a deeper dive into down the road here? Maybe I'll check out the app myself. I know I have the app on my phone. I've had it for a while, but I haven't updated it into the latest version because they've been developing this for so long. So it's very cool to see it finally coming to fruition and finally getting out there. So check out Raiinmaker.com. That's with 2 I's. And thank you, JD and Raiinmaker, for the support. I appreciate it. So now we're going to basically show how to take this and automatically trade it with this. This is CrowTrader. This is my own trading bot that I've been using quite a bit lately, and I'm going to explain a lot of the different nuances on how to use this bot, and you can download this for free. So this isn't something you have to buy. This is not a commercial. I just get a lot of questions on bot trading. How's bot trading going? How do you use the bot? What do you do with it? How does it work? So we're going to show you. When you go to crowtrader.com, you click the download button. The version that you download is the same version you could ultimately license for live trading. But until you license it, all you're able to do is back testing and paper trading. Okay. So that's basically that. If you want to live trade and actually trade with real money, that's where you need a license. And it's not that much. And you can buy it with Bitcoin if you want. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to basically explain how this all works with CrowTrader. And then you basically can, in some sense, set it and forget it, but you should always monitor your bot. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the Bollinger Band Trails strategy. We have the Crow EMA crossover and the double EMA gainer. I'll go over these strategies later. I'm going to focus on Bollinger Band Trails because this is by far the easiest strategy for people to use straight out of the box and actually close trades and generate profit. And I'm not joking. Now, anything can happen. It's always risky. Full disclosure, full disclaimer, the market can fluctuate and change. The APIs that are used for each of these different exchanges, like this one is running on Binance. My other version is running on Fairdesk. And if they make any changes to their APIs, it can screw up trades. And it doesn't happen often, but it is possible. So there are a lot of different things that can come into effect when you're bot trading that you always have to be aware of. Now, on Binance, these are all of the different trading pair possibilities that you can trade with CrowTrader. And every exchange is different because they have different pairs, different things that are possible. But we're going to basically focus on Bitcoin versus USDT if possible. Let's see, USDT, and where is it? I know it's in here. There's just so much, and I have to find. All right, BTC USDT. All right, so we're going to say starting capital of $1,500, and then buy amount type. We're going to buy fixed amounts, okay? And I'm gonna set this at $50, okay? So $50 in USDT. All right. This is basically going to start entering. Yes. Even though I have $1,500, I'm only going to start the bot running this pair at $50 at an entry. Slippage and fees. We're going to say I don't even know what the fees are. We'll just say 0.1. Generally fees aren't higher than that. And then we're going to look at the 5-minute time period. You could go all the way up to 1 week. Okay. But this time period is basically like if you were looking at a chart, what candle are you looking at? Are you looking at 1-minute candles, 3-minute candles, 5-minute candles? What we ultimately want is we want to get in and out of trades as quickly as possible and just continue generating money. Okay. We want to make money with this. Now on this back test, which is what you have to create every new pair with running a back test first. So I want to back test over the last 14 days. Okay. So what this is doing is I'm going to say I'm entering a trade with $50. My slippage and fees is 0.1%. I'm running it on 5-minute candles over a period of 14 days. And then this is the strategy. All right. We're running an SMA time frame of 20. standard deviation of 2, a low band buy of 75%. All of these are configurable, mind you. We're looking for a 1% gain to exit a position, true gain lock, a stop loss, which I personally don't use, but if you want, you can use that. RSI, which is basically kind of a confirmation signal that you can establish based off of your strategy. You've got bear guard, which will protect you from making what could be potentially bad trades at a point in the market where maybe there's a big drop looking to come. Trailing sell, DCA buy, and then your cool down. Now, what we're looking at is this. This is exactly what the bot is going to be set up with. We're looking at a Bollinger Band. We're looking at a length of 20. Basis moving average type is SMA, source close, standard deviation of 2. All right. And then you've got your style, which is basically just your colors for things. But that's ultimately what the bot is going to be trading. Now, in a Bollinger Band strategy, the overall idea is when the price drops below a certain level, below this moving average, that's when you want to pick up an entry, because ultimately you can see the bot will come down. Well, this is obviously a lot has changed here. So, but we're going to use that as an example for something else. But you can see like right here would have been a good entry. And then from here, as the price went up, once the price hits a certain point of basically 1% gain, then it's looking for an exit. And then it might exit up here. And then when it comes back down here to the bottom, maybe it doesn't take an entry because the spread isn't large enough here to get that, to basically to pick it up. But that would have been a good trade as well, because then we skyrocketed from there. We would have exited somewhere down here. And it basically just keep ping, 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 right? So that's ultimately what we're trying to do. So what this is saying is that a low band buy at 75% is that when the price comes all the way down under this moving average by 75%, it looks for a buy. All right. So it might buy down here. And then from there, it's looking for a 1% increase in price before it exits. Now, what I can further do is I can say, I want to set this up as an RSI. So we've got an RSI 14. So I might say, all right, I want a 14 RSI with an RSI entry value of 34 and then an exit value of 70. All right. And so what that is basically saying is when the price comes down, see all these points down here where the price has gone pretty low. You can see that about right here on this one, we're at a 35. If the price comes down to 35 and the bot is down here, well, that still wouldn't enter the trade because it's looking for the price to hit somewhere around here at 34. Because if you look at the patterns on the chart, that 34 is all the way down here. And typically when it hits that low, we got a hard recovery. Right. So you can see here when the price was down here, OK, we're at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. But as we're moving down, we're in a big dip. Well, I don't want to buy if the price is if it's going to keep going lower, right? And so it's looking for a confirmation in this RSI, and it's not going to buy, even though it should have bought here without the RSI confirmation. Okay, it's not going to buy until that RSI has come all the way down here to about a 34. And so when the price got to about right here, that is where the bot would have purchased. Now, it would have still gone down further. So if you really don't want to get caught up in those, you can set it for, your RSI. When the RSI comes all the way down to like a 25 or a 24, which it limits the number of trades you're going to get into, but it could potentially make them safer trades. However, let's say that we went ahead and we didn't use RSI. Well, at that point, we're using the DCA strategy. Okay, the DCA and a trailing sell. I'm getting tongue tied. You can use all of these things, but the more confirmations and things you're looking for, or that the bot is looking for, the lower the number of trades you're going to get. All right. So it's a pro and a con, and it ultimately depends on how much you believe in the project you're setting your bot up to buy. All right. Now, your trailing sale could be a 0.1%. And what that means is that when the price comes to a point where it's looking for a sell signal, maybe it wants to, like, up here, like maybe I set it at 70 or something, right? So if the price comes all the way up here to 70, it would have bought somewhere down here, all right, around down here. It would have bought around here at a 34, okay, with RSI in line. And then it would have sold all the way up here when the RSI triggers at around 70, whatever I set that for, and the Bollinger Band is at the top of the band. And what happened with trailing is, if that were to continue rising, it wouldn't sell until the price comes down 0.1%, which would have been, right around here. And this would have been a perfect, just an absolutely beautiful bot trade. And the bot will do that. It will do that if that's how you want it. But if you look, generally speaking, it's going to be difficult. And this is on a 5-minute candle. So you're looking for 1% trades, and then you've got a 0.1 trailing. All right. And we're going to see how all this would work and how many trades we would pop off on this, because we're going to back test it. So we're going to say RSI entry value. Let's just say, we'll just say 35. We're going to say exit of 60. All right. Because we don't really need it to go that high. We're not going to get a lot of trades with this. Trailing sell of 0.1. Now, DCA is one of my favorite elements to this bot, and we're going to go percentage drop. I use strategy entry as well, but for you guys, I would prefer you probably try out percentage drop first. And what this does is every time the price drops by 1%, it doubles down. Okay. And I personally like at least a 10-tier DCA. Why is that? Because let's say we would have started all the way up here and the bot made an entry right here. If we look, from this point to this point, we're looking at about 8%. Okay. That's about an 8% drop. Remember, these are 5-minute candles. So that 8% drop would have meant we would have doubled down 8 times. So we started our trading with $50, multiply that by 8, and that's how much we would have used out of our starting capital. But we're going to be in a much easier position to enter a trade and exit that same trade, because we're averaging our entry price down as the price falls, which means by the time we've gotten down here, we've already doubled down at a percent lower. And so by that point, once our price is averaged down, we'll be able to find profit and exit at a much faster period. We're going to exit down here as opposed to having to wait for the price to come all the way back up here. Now, some people prefer, rather than get caught up in a DCA bag, to just set a stop loss. Oh, I entered here. I'm going to set a stop loss at like 2%. And I'm going to lose 2% of that trade, but I'm going to have my capital available for another entry. But if you kept doing that over and over and over, you're just going to chew up your funds. So for me, especially if I'm trading something like a Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano or something like a top 10 market token, I'm fine with DCAing and averaging down and then getting that exit at the bottom somewhere. All right. So we're going to do this as a max buy count of 10 with a trailing sell of 2. And we're just going to run this and we're going to see what happens. This is going to tell us how many trades. I'm going to guess there aren't going to be that many. So right now our total P&L was $30. All right. So we would have made $30 over the last 14 days trading on a 5-minute candle with these settings. All right. Total percent gain 2%. Whereas if we would have held, just basically bought Bitcoin and held it, we would have been down almost 6%. That's the beauty of bot trading, folks. This is how things work. And you can see here all of your DCA entries. You can see every time the bot doubled down and it averaged the price down for you. And then my exit points, 2.59%, 1.96%, 1%, 1.67. So you can see all of that. All right. And you can see generally, you can see on the charts where your DCA entries are. And it really is that simple. And that's basically how it works. And then from there, if I want to continue forward and say, you know what, I like those settings, I want to move forward, I can start paper trading. And then when I paper trade, now this is the bot saying, we're going to run this strategy in real time on live charts without risking any money. Okay. And so now here it is in my paper trade. It's already activated. It's looking, the Sentinel is looking for an entry, and that's it. And then I can go off to back testing a new one. And then if I run this paper trade for a week or so, or a day or whatever, and it's pinging, good profitable trades for me, then I can just turn on live trading. And if I don't like it and I think, that's garbage, I can either go in, edit it. All right. So I can go back to where I started and edit the strategy and and just basically close it out and wait for it to run further. Or I can delete the whole thing and start from scratch with another pair. But ultimately, I'm looking for live trades in this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is as easy as it is running a Bollinger Band strategy. And then, we have signals here. Obviously, the signals are for artificial intelligence generated strategies, which is going to be another video I go over. I've done a video in the past where I've talked about how to do this. I'm going to dive into more detail. We're going to do some experimentation. If you're interested, you have to let me know in the comments below if you're interested in learning more about what is possible and what you could do with the Crow Trader bot. Go check it out. Just go play with it. Have some fun with it. I honestly feel like bot trading to me, as I always say, it's like treasure hunting. You find that winning strategy on a winning time frame and you explore, and you're sifting gold, you're sifting for gold, you're sifting with the strategies and the settings and the different candles until you find something that's like, oh, I found gold, and then you run it, and then you just keep an eye on it and see what you can do. So that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully this is helpful. I really love reading your comments at night when I'm up late working, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you don't mind, and I'll see you again very soon. Till next time, crow your coins.